Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is out in theaters, latest film in the Planet of the Apes franchise, which was revived with the surprisingly great trilogy from Rupert Wyatt, who did Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and of course Matt Reeves, who followed that with Dawn and War. This new film was directed by Wes Ball, who made the Maze Runner movies, and is supposed to kick off a new trilogy. The story jumps us forward about 300 years in time. Humans have mostly been wiped out by the virus, and ones that did survive have regressed mentally and live in small herds like wild animals. Meanwhile, the apes have progressed. They have slowly been evolving. They now have hunter-gatherer societies, villages, they start building up their own civilization, they use tools. Noah, the main character, is a young ape who's a part of one such tribe, a peaceful tribe called the Eagle tribe, which takes its name from using eagles for hunting. One day, the peaceful life gets broken up when the village is raided by a more advanced and more aggressive tribe of apes that kidnaps everyone for slave work. And Noah, who's sort of left behind, has to team up with a seemingly intelligent human girl in order to try and get his family back. So, as I said earlier, the original trilogy was surprisingly good, mixing a really compelling story with bleeding-edge CGI, which made the apes truly photorealistic. And I'm happy to say that Kingdom is a worthy successor to that, and I'd say it's about on the same level. The story is interesting. I like the way that we've now moved fully into a truly post-apocalyptic world, and it's fun to see the apes navigated and the balance of power shifted from humans to the apes. It truly is a story about the apes. It's not like, let's say, Godzilla, where you have the monster characters, but then you have the human inserts who are supposed to be the main characters for us, for the audience. No, this is Noah's story. Noah is the main character. It's about apes, and the human characters are kind of just in the background. I think the characters in general are drawn extremely well, and a lot of work in terms of showing their motivations, emotions, state of mind is done wordlessly, despite the fact that, of course, apes communicate with language now. They you can infer a lot of stuff just from their face or from their movements and gestures, which again, credit to the excellent CG work. Noah is the traditional noble protagonist, but he's crippled by guilt as he blames himself for his village being pillaged. And he also struggles with trust. He finds it difficult to trust anyone else, particularly a human. Meanwhile, Proximus, the main antagonist, is fascinating because his methods are ruthless and cruel, but you can kind of see that aside from just selfishly amassing power for himself, he does want his ape tribe to do well. And of course, the fascinating thing is how he twists the legend and teachings of Caesar to his own ends, using the old symbols and sayings, but acting in ways that go completely against them. And then May is interesting because she seems to be a damsel in distress, a naive and innocent young woman who needs help. But time and again she proves she's actually cunning and lying and mostly looking out for herself, and she deceives the people, the apes around her, to further her own goals, and therefore sort of proving to Noah repeatedly that maybe humans cannot be trusted, that maybe Proximus is correct on that front. The dynamic between May and Noah is very good, and I love the way it ends with the final scene they share. Final scene in this movie, because it's clear that the story is going to continue somehow. But I found it to be an unobvious and interesting way to take this, to make them very reluctant allies in this story, but potential enemies in the grand scheme of things. The special effects are once again spectacular. Excuse me. All of the apes look absolutely majestic, pretty much lifelike. I've read that a lot was also done in terms of the water simulation. There are many scenes involving water, bodies of water, moving water, and it's really very convincing on that front as well. And even aside from just CG, the cinematography is quite beautiful. From the peaceful ape village through the ruins of the big human city to individual shots like the one with Noah's Eye looking into the telescope at the ruined observatory. There are really some pretty pictures in here. All in all, I liked it quite a lot. I'm still a bit amazed at how 4 movies in, this franchise continues to pump out successful summer blockbusters, which are kind of good action films as well. But at the same time, all of them managed to smuggle in some really clever themes and storylines. In this case, the theme of trust, as well as using myths and legends for political and power gain. Good stuff, really. Do check it out, and if you haven't seen the previous 3 movies, give them a shot for sure.